So what's more important, goals or habits? Welcome to the Growing People Podcast. My name is John Losey, your host, as we take a 360-degree look at how people learn and grow and how organizations move forward. So recently I got in a great conversation about habits and goals. My friend had been hearing more and more about the importance of habits and how they might be more important than setting goals, but he'd always thought goal setting was really important and it worked for him. And what brought that about are some conversations, or not some conversations, but some articles that I've been seeing recently about goals and habits. This forgetting about setting goals, focus on habits instead, or what happens when I stop setting goals. Those are a couple of articles that represent a whole bunch of a change in direction around habits being really, really important. And I really agree, habits are crucial, but they play a very different role than goals. So I don't think it's very productive to set off goals or habits. They're two very different things and play very important roles in how we grow and develop. So goals, to me, and you're going to find different subtle differences in how people use the term goal, outcome, objective, but all those things set something in front of you to travel towards. In my coaching and organizational consulting, I talk about the destination and that we are all on a journey towards these destinations we define ourselves. The more specifically you define it, the better your journey is going to be. But if you don't have a destination, if you don't have a goal, you don't know which direction to travel, which direction to walk. It's like if you have a GPS in your vehicle, the first thing that you do when you get in that car is to set the destination. Then the car knows where to arrive at. And that's what goals do for you. Very different than the role of habits. Habits are what you're doing to get to your destination. They're the things that move you down the trail. There's other things as well. There's habits, there's tasks and to-dos, there's events and projects. All those things are the different things, the different aspects of what move you down the trail, the steps that you actually take to get to your destination. So you have habits that are behaviors, and you have goals, which is the destination. Now with habits, they get a little tricky because you have some habits that move you closer to your goal. Like, for instance, if you get into the habit of exercise, or you get into the habit of focusing your energy before you start the day. Those are good habits. You have other habits like checking your email first thing when you get up, or perhaps you have a social media addiction there where you always default, the first thing you do when you grab your phone or get on your computer is go to Facebook. Those habits may not get you to where you want to go. So what you want to do is you want to learn how to develop habits that move you towards your goal. What I've learned is that you don't break habits, you replace them. A guy named Charles Duhigg, who wrote a book called The Power of Habit, he explored this concept, and not only how habits are formed, but if you know how they're formed, you can understand better how to create new ones. And it has to do with the things that set off your behavior, the cues. Then you have the actual behaviors, and then you have the rewards that you get from those behaviors. And by understanding what your cues are and what your rewards are, you can then replace habits that don't get you down that road to your destination quickly enough. So as we think about goals versus habits, think of them totally differently. They actually go hand in hand. If you don't have a goal, you don't have a destination. There's no compelling reason for you to do any of those things. And if you don't have habits, that get you further down the road, then you're going to waste a lot of energy doing things that aren't beneficial. So when you think of goals and habits, think of them as two very different things, but it's all about that growth journey and getting you to your destination.